right, now it is time to get into WWE's Saturday Night Main Event, October 5, 1985. And I guess it would have been the World Wrestling Federation at the time.
The World Wrestling Federation, indeed, James. This is the second ever episode of Saturday Night's Main Event. Now, why are we watching the second one instead of the debut one? Well, I didn't know what happened on the first one, and I didn't know if it was worth it.
I don't know. But maybe
I mean,
one
you know,
day.
and who knows? Someday we could go back to it. You know that there's a door open there for this one. But this one, I knew had a wedding, and wrestling weddings are always worth watching, right, boys?
Yeah, always.
They always go well too. Yes,
always. There's never issues. Always good.
And of course, you know, Saturday Night's Main Event is making a return in real life. So Tony thought it'd be a good idea to maybe venture back and
hey, don't put this all on me. Okay?
Yeah, Tony specifically only.
Don't put this all on me. All right.
This is, as we talked about earlier, the oldest retro episode we've ever done. We usually don't venture back into the 80s that often, if ever. Most wrestling shows in this era were like pretty protective of like dudes on TV. So like if you did see a Hulk Hogan on TV, he was beating some little jabroni's ass into. Like, it wasn't often you saw like the stars on the show. So Saturday Night's Main Event was like one of the first shows, I think, at the time that like you would see stars facing stars. So I think that was the big draw. And like this was a pretty big like ratings get at the time for like I'm pretty sure this was on NBC, right? It was
on NBC. Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, they were doing pretty fucking good ratings. Like this episode did an 8.3. This Saturday Night's Main Event here.
Yeah, and there's no like on the Observer website. Usually this is where we put the Observer notes, but there are none. There's none on the website, so we don't have any to talk about on this episode.
No, I'm pretty sure there is a like Observer newsletter from this time, and I saw Scott Keith, the blog of Doom. Scott Keith had like a recap of it, but I was like, this doesn't feel the same. So we are observerless for this one. Observe this, brother.
I think Meltzer loved it. Alvarez hated it. I don't know. Whatever.
Well, the one thing I did see, Tony, from Scott Keith's recap of the newsletter is that Meltzer said this is like one of the worst shows ever wrestling wise.
Holy shit!
And he said Hogan is trash.
Wow.
Yeah, so I mean that goes to show what Meltzer
little
thought
does
he
know the wrestling that would follow in the next 40 years.
Yeah, good lord.
This is the end of Hulk Hogan at this time, or not?
Wow,
brother.
he's not even red and yellowed out yet.
No.
So we start with a cold open here, which is one of the craziest fucking hard cuts to back content I've ever seen for any show. Wrestling back then was all character stuff, so everyone had a very distinctive character, which made for some very funny segments and like otherwise just nuts looking people.
And they had to talk. That was like every match has a Mean Gene interview in the aisleway before they make their entrance, possibly to music. So not everyone got music for some reason.
The best part is that even when the guys would talk, like even the guys that are classified as the best talkers of the era or however you would like to put that, they're very rough. Like it's not like sometimes it feels like they weren't even told anything to talk about. They're just
they said, you're talking.
I'm just selling tickets, right? Yeah, like that's just what it felt like. You're right. Mean Gene is here, of course. Most of the time that we see Mean Gene, he's in WCW, so it's cool to talk about a show here on the Retro Review where Mean Gene's with the WWF.
Doesn't age between the 10 years of this somehow.
He really
10
does.
to 15 years. No, he's the exact same looking guy, same hair with the goddamn bald in the middle.
The reverse fade.
Dude, that's a secret. You got to get that at like 25, and then you have that your whole life. You look at 25 for the rest of your life.
What a fuck. They should keep that secret in the fall. Keep that to the chest.
Hey, that's like the Steve Martin thing. He had like gray hair when he was young, you know, so then he always looked the same age.
Cigarettes did a lot to these dudes, Tony.
Dude, cigarettes were so crazy back then.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah. They weren't even fucking with menthols yet.
Oh my God, that's up next.
So Mean Gene is here with Feddie Blassie and Nikolai Volkoff, which I'd like to make a note. The only times we ever see Feddie Blassie are in the funny like WWF music commercial that we talk about.
Yeah, that's right. Oh my God,
with Goldust
and Shawn Michaels,
and in the intro to WWE shows.
Oh, and the one time where the show ended and Stephanie McMahon and Shane McMahon stole him and killed him.
Oh my God, Stephanie McMahon kidnapped Feddie Blassie.
Was that the invasion? Or what?
You're gonna die. Yes, yeah.
Yeah, when he told the
just like my
WWF
father's
to stand up.
Yeah.
Stand up,
Stand
everybody.
up.
Stand up for the WWF.
Well, here, Feddie Blassie is standing up for the Soviet Union.
Oh, okay. I'm sure that's good, right?
And
or not?
The first thing that you hear, you're staring at Mean Gene Okerlund, Feddie Blassie, and this big bastard Nikolai Volkoff, and Mean Gene says, "Ladies and gentlemen, we may be on the brink of an international crisis."
What
the fuck are you talking
I thought
about
this
here?
was WWF Entertainment. What's going on here?
I forgot that like all the big angles in the 80s were, man, someone's trying to fuck with America again. We better kick his ass.
Yeah, a little too on the nose here, like USA versus everybody here in the 80s. Wow.
Well, the crowd really wanted to boo them, and that's how wrestling worked. That's just how things worked back then. And Nikolai Volkoff was the number one heel in every territory he ever fucking stepped in. So, of course it would work here in the WWF. Why not? Nikolai Volkoff, by the way, it's very funny because when you look at him in the face, the only time I've ever really seen Volkoff's work is in Mid-South. Okay. So in Mid-South, he was with Barry Darsow, and I was like, why the fuck did they put Barry Darsow with Nikolai Volkoff? And then I look at both of them in the face, and they made Barry Darsow look just like this guy in Mid-South. Really? Yeah, I was like, wow, they look very fucking similar.
That's awesome.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
Base Barry Darsow.
Yeah, nuts. I mean, he was all over the place with gimmicks.
Earlier tonight, Hulk Hogan told Mean Gene that after his title defense tonight, the Soviet flag will never fly in any arenas in the United States, Nikolai Volkoff. And Nikolai Volkoff says, "Tonight I will beat Hulk Hogan for the title, and I will take the title back to Russia. And if ever war comes between these two countries, I will have no guilty conscience push the missile button to destroy you all."
Yo, I thought this was wrestling. What
dude,
is going on?
I am begging Hulk Hogan to fucking lose this match, dude, because if you beat this guy, we are fucked.
He's going to push the missile button. Which is the craziest thing ever.
This guy has... Nikolai Volkoff has the Iggy to the missile button that could kill America? How the hell
shit
is
is different in Russia, dude.
Yeah, wow.
Dude, he is the spokesperson in pro wrestling for Russia. So
no guilty conscience. Oh, fuck. No shit, buddy. Goddamn.
That is insane.
So he says he's going to blow up America, and Mean Gene says, "All right, well, what do you think of that, Feddie Blassie?" And Feddie Blassie says, "Beware, my fellow Americans. This man always means what he says." Mean Gene says, "All right, well, Hulk Hogan's going to meet Nikolai Volkoff for the heavyweight title tonight." No one seems too concerned that this guy just threatened to blow up the country. We're just cool with this. Was everyone just doing this at the time, I guess? So it was like normal. Of course someone's going to blow us up.
Yeah, the whole thing is crazy. Like, why wouldn't Hulk Hogan... Like, what is Hulk Hogan going to do? Like, he threatened a nuclear war. Like...
Yeah, but with all the...
Brother, what do you want me to do, dude? This guy's gonna kill us all,
dude. He's about to tell us what he's gonna do. Actually,
I mean, what? I gotta go talk to Reagan, brother. Like,
Mean Gene, what the fuck, dude? What? I thought we were wrestling, brother.
Dude, I don't want that much pressure. I'm just trying to put on a headlock. I don't know what you're talking about, man.
I think we should give him the belt, dude. So Hogan is here now. Hogan, we are not in red and yellow territory yet. He still has white American-made shirt, and he has a headband that it really just looks like he just ripped up a part of his shirt and wrapped it around his
eye patch too.
Okay, I want you to think in your head right now, what would a headband look like on a man? Whatever you're thinking right now is not right, because Hulk Hogan has this thing. It's a strip of his fucking. You're right, his shirt or something.
Yeah, like a
diagonal
shirt that says Hulkamania. He cut it out on the T-shirt.
It's across his face.
Yeah, it's really nuts looking.
A head scarf.
You have to see a picture of this.
So he's standing here. He's with Mean Gene, and Hogan says, "You know something? I want all my fellow Americans out there to rest easy, brother, because the Hulkster's here." So Hogan's going to stop a goddamn international incident here. That's good. As far as that no good Russian Nikolai Volkoff goes, he's no threat to me, and he's no threat to America, dude. I don't want you to get me wrong, because the Hulkster's red hot about this situation. The way that Russian goes around the country, waving that Russian flag in front of all these young Americans, that gets me red hot, dude. I got one promise for you. After Hulkamania runs wild, There's only going to be one flag waving in this country, and that's the red, white, and the blue, just for you. And he flexes in front of the fucking camera. Again, good on him for having the confidence, but this dude has the fucking missile button at his disposal.
Yeah, but he's got the power of the Hulkamaniacs.
I think maybe we should just lay this one down.
Yeah, we should.
Hulk Hogan
The Army and the Navy and everyone on here to take this to this bigger situation.
Hulk Hogan should have said that he also has access to the nuclear button.
I have a lot bigger button.
A bigger, better button.
Your stinky little red button is nothing to the red, white, and blue button, brother. So next up we have Uncle Elmer and Hillbilly Jim.
Oh, by the way, at the end of that, they say that's the international situation. Like they just, all right, thank you.
Yeah, this should be on the news. What the fuck, man? Yeah, Hillbilly Jim, James's top 3 favorite wrestler, and he's not 3 or 5. He's here with Uncle Elmer. I am now being for the first time introduced to Uncle Elmer.
I've never heard of this guy before. I'm seeing him on here.
To be completely fair, I have no clue who Hillbilly Jim was if I didn't see him coming down the aisle in Here Comes the Pain in a cart.
Yeah, waving. That shit was awesome. It's my goat.
And he had the taunt too, though.
Smiling with the hat.
Country boy. Yeah, gotcha.
Hey, no messing with Country Boy. Hell yeah, that song rules. That's
dude, this guy is fucking commencing the jiggling too. Like this guy really knows what's going on. This is the goat. Dude, his whole family was.
I think of Hillbilly Jim. I think of that action figure where his arms at his side, right? Isn't that the figure?
Oh, the Galoob. Or the LJN,
that's the one
sorry. The LJN.
That's the one I always think of, the Hillbilly Jim action figure.
Uncle Elmer and Hillbilly Jim are here. And then Roddy Piper comes on the screen and says, I have a feeling your whole family's going to go down.
That's fucking so sick. I don't know why Roddy Piper has such an issue here, but, it's fair.
Roddy Piper has an issue with everybody. Like, this is like
he's the
WWF's answer to just every babyface they have. Yeah, it's Roddy Piper.
Yeah, send Piper out there to fuck with him. So Mean Gene's here, as you said, with Hillbilly Jim and Uncle Elmer. And Mean Gene says, so that's the international situation, ladies and gentlemen. But now on the domestic front, we are going to have the first network television wedding since Tiny Tim and Miss Vicky back in 1969. And the nervous groom and his best man, Uncle Elmer and Hillbilly Jim here. Hillbilly Jim, is everything in order for tonight? And Hillbilly Jim says, we hope so, because Uncle Elmer has a big night ahead of him. And first he's going to wrestle. I said, holy shit, this guy's booked to work before his wedding? This is a real man's man here.
I mean, somebody's got to get the honeymoon money.
He's got to pay the bills. Yeah, man. And Hillbilly Jim says then he's going to get married, and afterwards we're going to have a big hoedown reception. They don't imply at all that this guy's going on a honeymoon or having sex at all.
Why does the WWF love the hillbilly thing? They're like super into it.
Vince, I think, was like enamored with it because it was so not him.
Yeah,
like,
okay, I can see that. Yeah, sure.
He sees Hillbilly Jim as every member on the WCW roster during that time as well.
Uncle Elmer.
WCW.
Yeah, wrestling. Mean Gene says, Elmer, are you nervous right now? And Uncle Elmer says, Gene, I'll miss your love, I tell you.
What the hell did you just say?
Sir, dude, what the fuck is wrong with you?
If I didn't have subtitles, I have no clue what he said there. Like, it was straight out of The Water Boy.
It didn't even click with me, Tony, that I could have put on subtitles. I just assumed that the subtitles would say, like, unintelligible gibberish or something.
I only know the real words, James, because I watch these with subtitles on.
I had to have subtitles. I had no idea what this guy was saying anytime he talked.
Love, and I'll tell you. And then Roddy Piper walks in and goes, ooh, ooh.
You see this fucking slob?
He walks in with a handful of hay, and he says, oh, I've been grazing, Uncle Elmer. And he's holding out some hay.
Uncle Elmer ain't even done nothing to Roddy Piper yet.
No, he's just fucking
Roddy Piper comes in and says, you see this? You fucking live here, don't you?
You messy, sloppy, hillbilly bastard. He says, if you were on a mission, you would be the launching pad, brother. Take a look at this guy. You think she's getting any kind of bargain basement here? What do you think is going to marry him? I saw a pig run through here. I never saw that. Then they cut from Piper going on a rant to the Saturday Night's Main Event intro.
Yeah, I mean, Roddy Piper has got to be... I mean, I could listen to this dude talk forever.
His promo later is like the most nothing words of all time, but he says it's so cool that I'm like, wow, I love this guy.
He is just roasting everybody. That's his thing, is just to roast everybody. Roast everybody and then get punched in the head and just start selling. Like, that was Roddy's thing.
His match is the best match on this show.
Oh, it's unbelievable. It's actually super fun.
Yeah. The Saturday Night's main event intro, it doesn't have the same song here on the Peacock version, which won't exist probably soon. But the song was Obsession. That song is awesome.
So Vince McMahon runs down the card with Jesse Ventura,
who is back now, by the way, and doing real life Saturday Night's main event, like the return one. Which
I'm excited to read the notes on what he says on this show.
I'm like, I can't believe that that's a real thing. I'm shocked that they trust him. I also appreciate everyone that tweeted us at this announcement and blamed or gave us credit for this. I don't want to take credit or blame, but
we are a neutral party.
Yeah, we no one's covered Jesse like we have, I don't think. So.
Well, Jesse Ventura's dressed up in a crazy suit and the most 80s glasses I've ever seen.
They're like two pairs of glasses broken and glued together. It was very strange looking here. But yeah, Vince is putting over the show on the microphone. He says, we'll see one of the first tag team title defenses from Greg the Hammer Valentine and Brutus Beefcake. What just a dog shit tag team taking on Tony Gurria and Leaping Lanny Poffo.
Why'd you say that, Vince?
Oh, sorry. Now, James, I wanted to bring this up to you because I don't think I knew this. The tag titles at this time are the same as the Attitude Era tag belts?
They're the dual-plated one. The Attitude Era one is all gold.
I didn't realize it was the same, like, kind of looking design for this long, though, because this is fucking 1985. I figured it was like a little shitty belt.
Yeah. So this version of it is the dual-plated silver with gold. You can't really see it here.
No, you can see it in like the intro. There's a glimpse of it, but like they don't really ever get close to it.
Yeah, and then they do use the dual-plated for a minute going into the Attitude Era, I believe, but then it changes to the one that most people probably know, which is the all gold.
Yeah, that was like I was like, someone went back and the boys went back in time and gave them those tag belts.
Say, here, take these better ones.
That's fucking awesome.
And it's also the world title that Ric Flair brings in.
Is it?
Yeah, because I can't remember what happened to his belt, but he used a custom version of this tag belt that said like world champion or something on it.
Yeah, when he brought in the WCW one, they had to take it away off TV or whatever. So they made like this weird like tag. It was like a tag world belt. Let me see if I find it.
Yeah,
no shit. Wow, that is fucked up.
I know, isn't that weird?
I don't know if I ever knew. Like, I don't know if I've ever seen this.
So they used it for like, I guess they used it for like house shows and like stuff like that. But then they blurred it out to make it look like it was the big gold belt on TV, I guess. So it wasn't actually the big gold.
Wow.
So they just blurred this one out, so you couldn't tell what it was.
Vince says Paul Orndorff will take on Roddy Piper tonight, by the way, as well. And then from there, the 8th, 9th, and 10th Wonders of the World all rolled up in one as Andre teams with Tony Atlas to take on King Kong Bundy and Big John Studd. And then WWF champion Hulk Hogan in the title defense meets Nikolai Volkoff, and then a little romance in addition to the wrestling with the wedding of Uncle Elmer and Joyce. One name, Joyce.
That's Joyce.
Elmer? Is that going to be your last name now?
I guess so, yeah. Take his first name is Uncle.
Yeah. So Jesse Ventura now goes on a rant. He says, maybe you can wake me up when it's all over. I'm impressed with the wrestling. You don't have to sell me on that. I love the matches, but this marriage has no business in the sport of wrestling.
Tell him, Jesse.
Wrestling's a contact sport. The marriage has nothing to do with it. And I'm going to go on record as a broadcaster that this wedding has no business in wrestling. I go on the record.
Take your bullshit sports entertainment somewhere else, Vince.
Fuck you. You're fired. And take that union with you.
Well, fuck you.
Fuck you, McMahon. I'm going to start a union.
On air on NBC. Well, fuck you, McMahon.
Hey, McMahon, why don't you suck my dick?
With the glasses on.
That's not nice, Jesse.
So anyways, we got Nikolai Volkoff versus Hulk Hogan. Howard Finkel says that Volkoff would like everyone to stand for the Soviet national anthem.
The crowd is not happy about this, of course, and then
now we've seen this a lot. This is a trope in wrestling.
It is.
Yes.
But I gotta say, everyone fucking just stands there and listens to it. I said, oh my goodness.
And he sings what I assume is the Soviet national anthem as Feddie Blassie holds the Soviet Union flag. And he finishes up and he says, "You are typical Americans, no class." And to prove this, people then start throwing things in the ring, and one bounces off of Feddie Blassie's head.
Dude, Feddie Blassie was singing it. I said, wow, this is crazy.
He knows the words, of course.
Yeah, I love that no one interrupted it. That's fucking heat, dude. Like,
yeah,
no one
Cody
interrupted
came out
it.
and said, "Fucking stop, dude."
That's how every single one of them goes from now on, right? Is like
That's
it
true.
always gets interrupted for the pop. But no, they just stand there and they sing the song.
That's Lance Storm's whole WCW run is getting interrupted when he does this.
Doing the neck turn. So it cuts to Hogan with Mean Gene, who now cuts another promo.
This is a promo-heavy show, man. I mean, like, it's unreal. So Mean Gene says, despite your warnings, Nikolai Volkoff continues to sing the national anthem and carry the Russian flag. Now Hogan says, well, you know, Mean Gene, the singing's too much. But as far as that flag goes, that's absolutely the limit, dude. I can't stand here to see our enemies flag in the ring. That's why I'm carrying the red, white, and blue, brother. I'm proud of America. I stand for this country, dude. And when this fight is over tonight, there's only going to be one flag standing. That's the Stars and the Stripes forever.
Forever.
And Hogan comes out to Stars and Stripes forever. That's the name of the fucking song. I don't know if that's legally he had to say that to G up for it, but he does.
That's how he turns the song on.
Just so you know what one to hit, dude.
Huge USA flag. I mean, he is so over in this building.
Hogan is unbelievably over here. He could do no wrong in this fucking era. Or
yeah,
any
and he's
era,
in
I guess,
he's in the
somehow.
full white gear.
He is. Yeah. The tiny whiteies. His ass.
His all white shirt gonna
I
get
thought he was
going
gonna
to
bleed.
right? yeah, that's what I said.
Wow. Yeah, good shout. No, NBC was not fucking with blood. No way, right?
Yeah, probably not.
Neither was Hogan do.
No way,
But
dude.
yeah, you're probably right too.
There's enough red on that flag, brother.
So Volkov hot starts on Hogan by kicking him in the butt cheeks, which is
So
nuts.
it's they describe it as a flag match like everywhere, but this is not a flag match. I guess just technically it's just whoever wins.
One
gets the
flag
fuck-
wins, brother.
Yeah, I guess that's what it is. Like whoever
Hogan
wins,
did-
flag wins.
All the flag match, like the only thing that came of it was Hogan saying, "You will never fly a flag in the United States ever again." So I guess that made the flag match then.
This is the last
Because he
remaining
said-
Soviet Union flag in America, and Hogan has to put a stop to it.
Dude, Nikolai Volkov is fucking, this gimmick is crazy. So like he faces Hogan beats him, and then next week he comes out and says, I still don't like America. Oh shit, all right. Let's do it again.
Yeah, what's stopping him from blowing this country to
Dude,
smithereens?
he
do it again.
should have came out with a giant red button. That would have been like over the top
Wow.
craziness. Like, yeah, just Feddie Blassie.
Like
just
Feddie
carrying this
Blassie. Yeah, I like that,
in
Tony.
like a glass box, you know, and he's teasing opening it.
Oh my god, he's gonna open it.
Like that'd be the craziest thing ever. That Hogan leg drops it or something. I don't know.
Dude, to crush it, he breaks it into
But
pieces.
then it actually like launches it by accident because he leg drops it. Ah, brother! And then he
Hogan's
stops it
looking
with
up
the
the
python.
sky. Oh, dude.
And
Oh,
then he stops
dude.
it. He has to go stop it with his pythons or whatever. Yeah, that'd be
Wow,
great.
Tony, you're fucking spitting.
I'm booking the 80s. I'm telling 85. That's my era.
You were
Freddie
there, so
Blassie
that's
walking
good.
around with a glass box with a button in it would have been like
This
nuts.
comically large red button would have been insane.
Hogan like starts his comeback and he does the point and he points at Freddie Blassie and Freddie Blassie opens the glass box up and Hogan's like, no, brother. He says, well, you better stop your comeback. He says, all right. And he closes it back.
You got a job.
Oh, that would have changed the business.
That was nuts.
So Volkov hot starts, kicks him in the butt cheeks, and then he starts the clubs. He starts clubbing him in the back.
He's clubbing the fuck out of him, and he's choking Hogan with his own shirt.
Yeah, so Hogan is wearing the world title. They don't even really make a big deal about him being the champion.
No.
Because this is more than the championship.
Well, we're
okay?
gonna
This
This
is-
is
die
a title
here.
match, by the way. It is for the title. Also,
is.
I
well,
just
what
wanna
really
mention
matters,
it.
brother, is that Nikolai Volkov could explode this entire country in seconds if he
Shove
wanted
this
to.
flag up your
button.
ass, brother. That's all I care about, dude.
So Hogan is wearing the world title as Nikolai Volkov slams his head in each post corner to corner, which I thought was an awesome touch that he just, like, the title just stayed on while he was doing this. I thought that was
It
very
fell off
cool.
eventually, but yeah, no, he did because he got fucking jumped from behind. He's frazzled.
So Volkov then rips Hogan's shirt off and puts it in his mouth. I was like, wow, he is really kicking your ass. Huh? Hogan then stops Volkov from putting his head in the corner and hits a corner line, and the crowd just starts going nuts here.
Huge pop for him countering being thrown into the buckle. I was like, holy fuck.
So Hogan hits a headbutt, and then Jesse Ventura says, "Well, that's new. I've never seen Hogan hit a headbutt before."
He did it a couple times, and Jesse said, "Well, I guess that's his new move."
Headbutt.
What do you mean, Jesse? Why are you so upset?
Because he hates
Suck my dick.
Fuck you, Hogan. We were going to start a union, and you put a stop to that, you bitch.
I know Hogan's about to fuck up my career.
He might care about America, but does he care about the WWF employees?
You talk a lot about workers' rights.
Vince says that these guys are both the same weight, but Volkov may be a bit stronger, allegedly.
He's got that fucking pure Russian strength, of course.
Yeah, Volkov actually then military presses Hogan by his fucking ass. And then hits a backbreaker from 20 feet up. That was insane.
Dude, this move is so sick. He picks Hogan up, power slam position, then legit, James is not lying, he hoists him up by his ass. He gives him the craziest wedgie ever.
I don't know how his balls or ass or penis didn't fall out when he picked him up that way, because he was holding only trunks on that, like only whitey tighties.
That's usually the order of things I worry about. Ass, penis, and balls.
No, balls first.
Balls first, yeah.
Balls and then ass, because like he was only holding the whitey tighties. I don't know how his shit did not fall out.
When I was up there, I felt like Terry Bollea, dude. So let's shrunk up here. It started turtling, brother.
You're lucky that was a Hulk Hogan dude.
I mean, he had that shit up his ass, and like
I didn't know where he was going with that. I was like, what the fuck does he do from here?
He pressed him for a while too.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
This had to be uncomfortable, his ass digging balls.
my thought was like, okay, it's Hogan, so like he's not gonna do shit. He'll club him maybe a few times.
Sure.
He said, what if I pick you up, drag this shit up your ass, and hit you with a backbreaker? But like, awesome. I forget sometimes that like, you know, Hogan 10 years from now is different because it's a different era of guys, right? This is fucking Nikolai Volkoff. I'll grab you and I'll kill you tonight.
He did it whether Hogan was going to help him or not. He was picking him up and he's going to gorilla press him.
Dude, Tony, in 1985, this is the era where if you're not doing a job, we're breaking both your fucking legs.
Dude, Hogan says, that doesn't work for me, brother, and he just gets jumped immediately.
Dude, I'm sticking that flag so far up your ass right now if you do not take this move.
6 dudes, the biggest, hairiest dudes that have never finished school, beat the fucking shit out of him.
They're not even on the show. They're just protecting the business.
They wedge him crazy. His dick and balls do flap out.
Dude, I just thought of 6 like George the Animal Steel guys coming to beat Hulk Hogan's ass.
That's what it is. That's what it fucking is.
All smoking cigarettes, coming to kick your ass.
Oh, dude. Dude, I'll take the backbreaker, brother. I'll take the fucking backbreaker, brother. There's no way Nikolai Volkoff calls this, right? You think any of this match is called?
Nah, bro. Hogan never called a match in his entire life ever, he says. Ever,
so Nikolai just fucking shoot military viruses up into backbreaker.
Tony, that is fucking ridiculous.
I'll tell you that. He never called a match once in his life.
Never called a match ever. That is nuts. He did a match with Edge. Brother, you called a match.
Brock called nothing.
Edge is calling tag spots. Come on, this is what we're doing, brother. What the hell are you talking about? We're going to feel the crowd out.
Nikolai Volkoff taunts and goes for the pin, but Hogan kicks out at 2. Volkoff then hits a body slam, but Hogan kicks out and starts hulking up. So Hogan throws the fists, but Volkoff reverses a whip and sends Hogan to the corner. Volkoff rushes at him, but Hogan moves. Volkoff hits the buckle and falls. Hogan off the ropes, drops the leg, 3 count.
This is Hogan's fucking Billy Gunn takes the buckle and Bradshaw hits a lariat. Like, he takes the buckle and Hogan's already sprinting at the ropes before Volkoff hits the mat. Like, he knows he's going down and the fucking leg drop's coming.
I gotta say, I liked how this looked. I like this. He hits the buckle, falls down, and like the only reason he loses is because of some shit like that.
That was all. I fucking. This actually. I mean, Meltzer supposedly said this is fucking dog shit, but I
no,
thought
this
was
wasn't
fun.
dog shit. This was like when I think of the '80s, like this is probably his like best of good of a match that you're going to get out of Hogan.
I mean, Volkoff clubbed the shit out of this dude. Hit the coolest backbreaker I've ever seen. Yeah,
wedged his ass.
Dude,
yeah, Hogan hits the line in the leg drop and wins.
Yeah, I mean, come on, dude. I mean, what else could you ask for? To me, brother, this was a 10-star match. I got to say, dude.
You got to be great out of work, brother.
We called it all on the fly right here, right now. And
why don't we ask the 750,000 people in the crowd right now, dude? We sold this place out. $100 a ticket, brother. But sadly, Hulk Hogan, you were not the main event. That would be Uncle Elmer.
God fucking damn right it is.
So you remember when you remember
who the real draw is, brother.
Remember to thank Uncle Elmer on your way out tonight, brother.
For the house.
So yeah, Hogan wins with the leg drop. Longer match than I assumed this would be. I'll be honest with you. Which
I guess
was
for the title, I'm not surprised, but
yeah,
for a
sure.
TV match.
Yeah, I mean, we don't watch much 80s wrestling.
No.
Most matches don't go very long at all. So I was like, okay, they got a little bit of, do the thing here. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Hogan then spits on Nikolai Volkoff. I said, okay, damn. And then he grabs the fucking flag and he spits on the flag and shines his boots with it.
I couldn't believe that. He's shining his boots with it. And then he pantomimes like he's going to tear the flag, but instead he just throws it down, spits on that as well. Then he takes the fucking U.S. flag. He starts waving it over his head while he stomps on the Soviet flag. Yeah, we're all gonna die.
Yeah, that button's being pressed.
The fuck are you doing, buddy?
Jesse Ventura said, what a disgraceful piece of shit.
He does. He gets so mad at Hogan.
I hope somebody breaks his fucking legs.
I hope there's 3 of the hairiest men you can find backstage. And they break this guy's legs to shit.
Well,
and balls nice, and penis.
Jesse, you're going a little too far. Hey, fuck you, McMahon. Jesse, please. We're on NBC.
I mean, this belt must not mean nothing. Hogan grabs the belt and just throws it on the ground and just starts posing.
That's not as important as the goddamn U.S. flag. USA, USA.
Hogan said, nobody cares about this goo goo gaga piss baby belt, brother. The IWGP belt's where it's at anyways. Where I will be going, dude.
Yeah, I'm putting in a call to the Yakuza. Jesse, that's not nice. Hey, fuck you, McMahon.
Hey, we're still at NBC. Come on, pal.
So Hulk Hogan Town Hall.
How?
Hogan says, if you live this thing day and night, brother, you can believe in it like these Hulkamaniacs.
That's fucking true. But if Nikolai Volkoff, brother, if you didn't get the message that the USA is going to live forever, I'll explain it to you a little slower next time, baby doll.
That's another performer. She's not here.
No, she's in a whole different territory, dude. Or maybe that's a foreshadowing, brother. Well, Mean Gene says, if we can move on to some happier thoughts, there's going to be a big wedding here. You're going to be a part of it. Hogan just caused an international incident stomping on another fucking flag. And Mean Gene says, well, we got this fucking wedding to deal with here.
Hogan says that what he's most excited for, though, is that Mean Gene will be playing the keyboards at the wedding.
Well, I'm going to be playing the organ, I guess. I can't wait, Mean Gene.
All right, dude.
So it shows a sneak peek of the bride-to-be tonight. And I was like, wow, this is like a real person. I thought it was going to be a pig or something.
That would be funny as fucking shit. Did you know what this fucking woman's name was until the end of the show? Like when they do the wedding?
I did not. No, I just knew her as the bride at this point.
That's what I knew her as too. I was like, am I fucking stupid? And I just missed that they call her Joyce at any point here? Because I only know that at the end.
I definitely thought Roddy Piper was going to bring in a pig. I really, truly did. But he didn't.
Missed opportunity. So another fucking promo here. Mean Gene is with Uncle Elmer, Hillbilly Jim, and I wrote some other fucking dude. Which
what you mean? That's Cousin Junior.
Cousin Junior. Cousin Junior is here, and Mean Gene says, Uncle Elmer, what worries you the most, the romance or the wrestling? And Uncle Elmer says, I'm not worried at all.
Dude, you have some respect on Uncle Elmer, Cousin Junior, and Hillbilly Jim. These guys are the shield of their era. Do you understand me?
Holy shit. No fucking way.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, you're looking at him right here.
I'm not worried at all.
Uncle Elmer was the architect, buddy.
Holy shit.
He's gonna turn the chair on everybody. Watch out.
Mean Gene's over this, by the way. He says, well, that's the kind of attitude you gotta have. However, Hillbilly Jim, he's got a match coming up, and you gotta be excited about it. Hillbilly Jim says, what's the best wrestler the WWF got to worry about? So Mean Gene says, you got a point. Cousin Junior, you gonna do some dancing at the wedding? And Cousin Junior says, oh my God.
So yeah, we go to a match here. It's Jerry Valiant.
Okay, there's a lot of Valiants on this show that are not Jimmy.
Just anybody but Jimmy, really. In 1985 WWF. Jerry Valiant versus Uncle Elmer. Everyone's nickname in the 80s was Gentleman and Playboy.
And the Nature Boy. There's like 100 Nature Boys running
Nature
around.
Boy, yeah, that's a good one too. Cousin Junior gets in the ring, and this boy is going crazy.
I mean, this whole family commits the jiggling right in the middle of the ring.
They are jiggling nuts. I mean, he's getting down forever. Like, the match is supposed to be started, and he's fucking going to town with these bare feet.
I was super impressed. I was super impressed.
He's got it in him.
Hillbilly Jim starts getting down. I mean, this shit means something to me. I was watching.
They're line dancing. They're going nuts.
I mean, they really know what's going on.
I couldn't believe he had the grippers on, man. That was crazy in the WWF ring in the 80s.
I mean, he's got to have an unbelievable amount of dirt and shit and fucking fart hair on his fucking feet.
And that has nothing to do with WWF. That was like before he got there.
That's just him normally. Yeah,
it's just in his house.
So all right, so match starts. Uncle Elmer hits a body slam and covers this guy and beats him in like 6 seconds.
I couldn't believe it.
On his wedding night.
Fucking shit. Dude, what a lucky man. Yeah, they at the time, a new WWF record, they have Howard Finkel say, the time of the fall, a new WWF record of 6 seconds. The winner, Uncle Elmer. And fucking Uncle Elmer broke the record, which was held before by King Kong Bundy, who won in 9 seconds against SD Jones.
So Uncle Elmer not only gets married tonight, which is the second biggest wedding next to Tiny Tim and Mrs. Vicky or something like that.
That's right. Tiny Tim, Miss Vicky. That's right.
And he's a history maker and a wedding history maker. I mean,
that's unbelievable.
It doesn't get much better for Uncle Elmer. I imagine this is the best day of his life, period, forever.
How have I never heard of this fucking guy until now?
You know, you're right. I legit did not know this guy existed until tonight.
So here's the other names of Uncle Elmer. Tell me if any of these ring a bell for you. A-Team number 2, Big Tex, Kong Gorilla, Cowboy Frazier, Ed Younger, Farmer Boy Frazier, Giant Frazier, Giant Hillbilly, Hillbilly Elmer, Kamala 2.
What? Wait, is that right?
No way.
What? How the fuck is that? Kamala.
That's got to be like a reference to something else.
I gotta look on Cage Match.
Kamala 2?
Kamala 2. No, Kamala 2. He was Kamala 2. But like, how's that? Who did he wrestle as fucking Kamala 2?
Wow, I don't know.
I can't even find it like on
Cage
Match.
Why do I see a time? I see like a chart and it goes from Kamala, then points to Uncle Elmer, and then points to Joel Gertner. What the fuck am I looking at?
What? Show me this.
Is it? Oh, this is like the Kamala like family history,
like the bloodline with the Kamala family.
Oh, like the family tree.
To Joel Gertner.
He's a descendant.
That is crazy. Kamala, Uncle Elmer, Joel Gertner.
Wow, that's
rumored that Joel Gertner may be related to the Kamalas. Is that right?
Kamalas. All right, so Kamala 2. I need to know who he fucking wrestled as Kamala 2. That's unbelievable. He was also the Pascagoula Plowboy. Wow. Oh my God, James, he was Playboy Frazier.
I knew he had to be Playboy something.
Plowboy Frazier as well. Plowboy is nuts, by the way. The Country Plowboy, the Giant Rebel, Tiny Frazier, Tiny the Plowboy. He really liked that name. The Lone Ranger, Uncle Elmer, and lastly, Lieutenant Frazier.
Wow, that's a lot of gimmicks, man.
That's unbelievable. What a run for this guy.
All right, well, where the fuck were we? All right, so
sorry, he wins in 6 seconds.
The match is over.
Yes,
6 seconds.
okay,
Yes.
so Uncle Elmer, Victor on this evening,
Yes.
and also Love Maker later in the evening.
Plowboy, you could say. And
Some would
Playboy.
say. Number 2.
Hillbilly Jim does a fucking cartwheel. Cousin
That was
Junior's
insane. It was a great cartwheel too. It was like a really good
It
cartwheel.
was.
It was just like a
Uncle Elmer going nuts with the knees.
Dude loved dancing without the arms.
That shit was nuts. He said, check this out. He didn't even look at the hard camera. He was just going nuts.
It was ass.
Yeah, wow. I mean, this is
Based.
yeah, this is crazy.
And then, of course, Uncle Elmer does his famous catchphrase, "Thank you, neighbor."
There it is. There it is. I mean,
That's my favorite fucking plowboy.
I mean, what can you say? Uncle Elmer pulled an 8.3 on NBC. Like,
I mean, it's the goat.
look at the facts.
It was his wedding.
It was
tonight.
his-
That was the headline.
Tony, his wedding, and he broke a WWF record.
All in the same night.
I'm just now finding out that plowboy isn't someone that just like fucks a lot. It's like a guy that guides a plow.
That's right.
Yeah, okay.
On the
sorry
farm.
about that. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, Uncle Elmer had a great night. Like I said, one of the best nights in Uncle Elmer's history. I am
His night's not
sure
done
of
yet.
that.
Yeah.
Of course not. He has to make love to his beautiful wife, and Hulk Hogan will be there. There is a promo with Uncle Elmer,
Holy shit.
who is struggling with just how great of a night
English.
he's been having. Oh yeah, that too.
The English language, yes.
Mean Gene is here with the Hillbillies, and he says, "That was some kind of world record you set." And Uncle Elmer says, "Hennan." Hey, you know, you should have took a daggone coat off if he wasn't planning on staying. And Mean Gene says, "Anyway, very long." And Mean Gene says, "You gonna set another record tonight?" And Uncle Elmer says, "Oh no." And Mean Gene says, "All right."
Well, let's get out of here.
You should have now took that goddamn coat off.
All right, let's get a very long. All right, let's go ahead and get out of this.
Yeah, whatever you say, man.
He's real blown up from that match.
His brain stops fucking working here. Like, he's has a wedding later and he's fucked.
Oh man, I like what I'm seeing. So it's time for the Body Shop with Jesse Ventura.
Wow, do you like this? Because it was OG? You're okay
I
with
gotta
this
give it a fucking pass. It's an OG in the game. You know what I mean? Like, it's just what it is.
I mean, so it's him and Bobby Heenan here, and they're pretty much just going, really just driving home that Bobby Heenan has been fired by Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff, who he was managing. He was in the Heenan family, and he fired Bobby Heenan, as I said, and Bobby Heenan, because of this, now has a bounty on Paul Orndorff's head, which he is currently raising from $25,000 to $50,000.
$50,000 fucking dollars.
Fucking shit, man.
1985, $50,000. That's like 2 weeks at a general store. Like, no one can have that much time.
$50,000 in 1985.
That's a part-time job, substitute teaching. Like, for 2 weeks, they're fucked.
$50,000 in 1985 is equivalent in purchasing power to about $146,684 today.
Shit, you make that down in the mines in about 3 days. But he's got to wrestle.
$50,000. So yeah, they talk about Roddy Piper taking on Orndorff tonight, and Hennan says it would be a pleasure to give Piper $50,000. There's I don't know if you noticed, especially during this, I don't really hear it for the rest of the night, but a lot of people trying to fucking pop their air horns here, and I guess air horns just sucked in 1985.
It was just the Hennan only. The CZW air horns, but I thought...
I heard it throughout the show. I could hear the horns all throughout the show.
I must have just zoned it out.
No, they were trying to drown him out here for sure when he was talking with those air horns.
Well, Bobby Hennan tells Orndorff
awesome,
that he should... Yeah, that is
There's
funny.
nothing on this show that should have an air horn on it, yeah.
Bobby Hennan tells Paul Orndorff that if he had any brains, his best bet would to be throw his shoes into the ring and his trunks and retire. Get butt-ass naked.
Let me see why they call you Mr. Wonderful. Now.
Wonderful.
So Paul Orndorff is here with Mean Gene, and he's not very happy about this.
No, Paul Orndorff is fucking livid. I actually am now realizing I don't know if I've ever heard Paul Orndorff talk, because this is not the voice that I thought was going to come out of him. He has like an accent. Like, I don't know where he's from. And Paul Orndorff says, I not only saw it, but I heard it, Bobby Hennan. You're the man that caused all this, and you were no good from the start, and putting a $50,000 bounty on my head. You think for 1 minute that Roddy Piper is man enough to do that? Anyone that wears a dress around his waist isn't man enough to do that. And Mean Gene says, well, it sounds like Roddy Piper's already spending that money. And Paul Orndorff says, you know he wears a dress.
Okay, but there's the $50,000 thing we were just talking about.
Yeah, he's probably spending that money on dresses.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get out of here with you. Thank you for your time,
Hey,
though.
you see that shit? Hey, you see that shit?
Yeah, no, we got you, man. Go to the ring. Thank you.
Mean Gene says, I don't know, maybe it's more plumbing for the Piper Manor he's going to spend the money on. And Paul Orndorff says, plumbing? Well, Piper, the only thing you know about plumbing is when you used to skin dive for Roto-Rooter. How about that, boy? What does that mean? Was he fucking toilets?
I have literally no idea what that could even...
Sticking your hand out on the toilet, pull the turd out, that's what you're doing.
They'd be calling turds Roto-Rooter.
No, Roto-Rooter, like they clean the toilet. The company cleans the toilets.
No, I don't know.
You skin dive into Roto-Rooter.
You should have just said, what, you stick your hand in shit? What are you eating poo?
No, he's being clever here. Skin diving for Roto-Rooter. You get it?
I mean, yours made way more sense, Tony. I thought he was accusing him of fucking toilets.
Nah, he's sticking his hand out on the toilet to clean it, Get that turd, pull the turd out, Roto-Rooter.
Toilet there?
You bobbing for shit?
Yeah, at your house?
That's what you would say.
Where you live?
You shit eater.
Mean Gene goes shit eater. Roddy Piper eats shit. Is that what you're trying to say?
Eat some shit.
I eat pieces of shit like you for breakfast. Oh, you eat shit for breakfast?
That's not what I said.
Turd burglar.
So Paul Orndorff goes to the ring, and Roddy Piper.
You're so wonderful.
Roddy Piper now talks to Mean Gene.
Well, Piper might want to be worried. Vince says Piper might want to be worried about that $50,000. That check might be written from Hong Kong.
Just as it turns out, it's not a check. There's $50,000 in the briefcase. It's cash.
You saw the briefcase in the ring, McMahon. Watch the fucking show. You
are
bitch.
so fired. You're so fired right now, buddy. Pack your bags right now. Get out of here.
Oh, don't worry. I know that.
Oh, I promise I'll be back when you're gone, McMahon.
I'm preying on your downfall, McMahon.
I'm coming back in 2024. You bet your ass.
I'll be a governor by then, McMahon.
So Mean Gene is interviewing Piper in the aisleway. Mean Gene says Vince McMahon was quick to point out that Bobby Hennan hasn't always paid his bounty, and Piper says, "Oh, yeah."
He's Beavis or something.
Yeah, this guy is crazy.
Yeah. If he doesn't pay me the $50,000, I'll rip his throat out too. Oh shit!
I'll kill him,
Okay.
and then I'll make him eat turds off his toilet or whatever he said. What's he talking? Roto man.
Stinky diver.
Eat shit, Orndorff. Did you hear that, McMahon?
Dude, they would definitely would have had a shit-eating match. Just like a loser eat shit.
It would have been in a bucket. Yeah, you're right. Would have poured it all over his head.
Piper says, I don't need baby oil to look pretty. I don't need to tell you how tough I am. You know how tough I am. You don't want to give me 50 grand. I'll collect it from your grandmother if I have to.
That's awesome. Wow.
And Mean Gene says, I don't understand your attitudes towards the big wedding tonight. And Piper starts losing it. If Uncle Elmer gets married, possibly another 12 years, there may be 5 Uncle Elmers in America. Who the hell needs that?
He makes a good point here.
Fucking with your family.
I gotta tell you, Roddy Piper, man, like this guy is such an enigma. Like just seeing him talk and just the way that he responds to stuff. Like, yeah, man,
he's different.
Yeah, he is a one of a kind wrestler.
Yeah, like I again, and I've talked about this publicly before. Anyone that's followed fucking my shit forever, but I mentioned on this pod, I super wasn't into like old wrestling for a really long time. I was like, fuck that shit. Like anything past goddamn 97 or before 97, I don't really even give a shit about. Maybe 96, 95. I mean, new gen, fuck all that. Like I'm not even bothering with that.
Well, we went through an entire like our come up of era of wrestling was like the deconstruction of the old wrestling world. But as time moves on, everything goes in a circle. You start coming around to stuff and learning more. And
I can't believe that I'm one of these guys now that like I like excited to see a goddamn Paul Orndorff Roddy Piper match. Like that doesn't even fucking sound like me.
Yeah. So we get Paul Orndorff versus Roddy Piper, and the match starts by them rushing at each other and punching the shit out of each other.
Dude, they're throwing bombs immediately, and like that's the whole match. These are two dudes kicking the shit out of each other for 5 minutes, and it's awesome.
So Orndorff tries to run at Roddy, but Roddy lines him, kicks him, and then starts slamming his head straight into the mat.
He run like almost like a Randy Orton punt that he kicks him in his head.
Yeah, there's a lot of vitriol in these moves that they're doing to each other
they're
here.
Scrapping.
These are former tag team partners at each other's neck. So Orndorff hits a full body takedown and then starts biting his head.
He's throwing elbows. He tackles Piper. He throws elbows down on him and bites his head. And then they both get up and both try to double leg each other and collide and fall.
Yeah, Roddy just full rushes at him. This is really compelling like work right here.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Roddy gets up and hits a DDT and then a running stomp. And they fight to the outside, and Roddy tries to use a chair, and then Orndorff is just slamming Roddy onto this table on the outside.
What table is that?
I don't know. Yeah, like
there.
Maybe like a media table or something. People taking notes for the show or something
like
of that.
Has, yeah,
sure. Something of that nature. They go into the ring, and Orndorff hits an elbow off the top rope. And I love this Roddy sell. He's on skates. Whoa,
dude,
whoa.
Yeah, he's fucked.
Yeah, and Orndorff hits a belly to back, and the crowd is going fucking nuts here. Orndorff punches Piper. Piper then does this sell where he's like glassy, and then he just pokes him in the eyes. And then he goes back to glassy selling after he pokes him in the eyes. Yeah, dude. Just sick. A complete asshole. And he starts to sell again. And as he's selling, it turns into him doing a running knee. It was really good.
Yeah, the knee lift, right?
Yeah, that was awesome. And then they run just straight into each other.
Shoulder
and we get a double down here.
This is, are we still in the era where like they use like real refs? Because this ref is like fast standing 10 count these guys.
I love this. Holy fuck.
Yeah, that was awesome.
The ref counting the 10 super fast was awesome. It made me start thinking, like, when did this get changed? Orndorff hits a running cross body and they both go to the outside. Dude, this looks awesome. Great. Yeah.
That like Cactus clothesline except with a cross body.
Just full sends that son of a bitch. Just goes.
Crazy.
Yeah. Roddy then swings a chair. They scuffle to the ramp. And the ref calls a count out as they fight underneath where Ventura and Vince are sitting.
Also, fast 10 count on the floor, too. Equal cadence to the in-ring one.
Yeah, get the fuck back in the ring or you're done.
Yeah. They fight to the dressing room. The cameras catch up with them in the back. And they're still going. They're throwing bombs until Piper locks himself in a locker room.
Yeah, he's like banging on the door. Let me in!
That was awesome.
Dude, I loved where they fought underneath Ventura and Vince, and like you can see them standing up as they're fighting underneath them, and you hear this loud bang, and I'm like, oh, this is cool.
You can see in the distance, like Piper fucking like hits a stage.
Yeah, dude.
Like
what was this? They just had like an elevated ramp where Vince and Ventura would like commentate the show.
It was like a little stage, yeah.
Yeah, just in the crowd. Just okay. Here's this thing. That was interesting.
I guess because like when they did the like on cameras, like they used the live mic, so maybe they just wanted to instead of going into the ring, they just needed somewhere elevated so everyone in the building could see them.
Yeah, that's actually a good idea. Sure,
it's not bad at all.
So Uncle Elmer's wedding is the main.
Uncle Elmer.
Uncle Elmer.
Yeah, man. This is a big deal, man. So like Uncle Elmer is getting married to this woman that we still do not know the name of by this point. And they're in the ring set up with this big wedding and we still don't know this woman's name. That was so fucking funny.
Yeah, that's like I legit was like starting to feel bad. I was like, wow, I kind of blew it. I don't know this lady's name. They'll say it eventually, but like, yeah, I'm glad that I wasn't the only fucking one.
Yeah, Uncle Elmer standing in the ring. He takes his hat off. He got the reverse fade. I said, oh shit, he looks good.
That was the style.
Yeah, that shit was working. Uncle Elmer's like 23 here. Mean Gene is on the piano, man. Come on with it.
Jesse Ventura says Mean Gene looks like the Phantom of the Opera.
Damn, all right.
I don't give a fuck.
That's funny.
So, okay, Andre the Giant is out here. Hulk Hogan. Oh, yeah, Andre the Giant in gear is out here.
He's naked almost.
That's funny as shit. Oh my god. He got the underwear on out there, Tony. That shit looks clean.
Dude, big red Johns on.
Shirt.
He's got Hulk Hogan out there. We got Captain Lou Albano out there. Come on.
Based.
And of course the family.
This woman's name is Joyce. They say it when she's coming out here.
Yes, that is Joyce, which is Uncle Elmer's wife to be here.
So I don't know if you guys knew. I only knew when I looked this up after. This is real. Like they really get married here.
Okay, so I looked up the rating for this show.
Yes.
And when I found the rating to the show, I saw that too.
That's crazy.
I couldn't believe. I was like, this is like a real thing. I guess, why couldn't it be? Sure. So every trope that you see on this show here tonight, Vince does for the next 40 fucking years.
It's fucking forever. Yeah.
It's unfucking believable how many tropes. Like, this is a Raw. This is a fucking episode of Raw.
It is, dude.
Like in 2008, this is an episode of Raw. Wow. This is like crazy to think about. Jesse Ventura, he says that the judge should sentence both of them to jail.
Because the judge is, it's Judge George Savino is
Savino.
Savino. So yeah, he starts doing the vows and shit. He's talking them through this shit, and Vince and Jesse Ventura are riffing like
the whole fucking time. You could convince me that they like didn't talk during this, and then they just went in voiceover and just started joking about the whole
in the
thing.
studio. They riff tracked in the studio. Yeah.
Sure.
Jesse Ventura later, years later, after this, claimed in a radio interview that to further the storyline, Vince McMahon told him to bury them during the ceremony. But like, sure. I mean, like this, he's getting.
It's a real wedding, by the way, guys. A real one.
Yeah, but what? They didn't think they were going to do any angle shit. Roddy Piper's going to come out and fucking say no.
Yeah, I guess since it's real, I can understand why Uncle Elmer was very nervous during this segment.
He was super fucking nervous. He's shaking.
He got to marry the love of his life here on WWF, on NBC, and draw a bigger rating than Hulk Hogan. What the fuck did you just say, brother?
Are you fucking kidding me, dude? You know what, Nikolai? You should let it rip, brother.
I was in the segment, brother.
Oh my god, that's how he gets it. I was there, dude. They were watching for me, dude. So yeah, Vince and Jesse Ventura are riffing during this whole thing, and Vince says, they show a shot of Uncle Elmer and Joyce standing there, and Vince says, "Wouldn't you like to have this shot framed in your living room?" And Jesse Ventura says, I think the judge should send them both to jail. Which is
that is nuts.
The judge then asks Uncle Elmer if he will enter into marriage with Joyce and love and respect and support her. And Vince says, that's a tough one. And Elmer says, I do. And Vince says, he does what, Jess? And Jesse says, I guess he's going to support her. Imagine when she has to support him. They're just letting these dudes, letting fucking Uncle Elmer have it. They join hands, Uncle Elmer and Joyce, and the judge says, Uncle Elmer, will you please repeat after me? And Vince says, oh boy, this is going to be difficult. Uncle Elmer repeats after the judge, and the judge says, he's going through the whole spiel, and he says, to respect and love, and Elmer says, to expect and love, which sends Jesse Ventura and Vince on like a 2-minute fucking laughing fit, and Jesse Ventura says, expect what? This guy can't read, and now he can't even hear.
Holy shit, I couldn't believe that.
Then Joyce is,
he will look back on this wedding very lovingly, I'm sure.
They stay together, by the way. Spoilers.
That's awesome.
Until the end of Mr. Uncle Elmer. Joyce is doing her repeating of the things that the judge is asking her to repeat. Someone from the crowd launches something and nails Joyce in the fucking head.
Dude, that was crazy. What a throw.
What a throw! Like, fucking bonks her, but she is not rattled. She like keeps going. Dude, she gets nailed in the head. Jesse Ventura says, did you see that, McMahon? A sign from the heavens that this isn't gonna work.
Oh my.
So Uncle Elmer struggles to put the ring on Joyce's finger because he's like visibly shaken.
I love the I do's and shit. Like, he says I do and she says I will.
I will.
I will. Line.
The judge then tells Uncle Elmer, please repeat after me, Elmer. I give you this ring as a sign. And Elmer says, I can't hear you.
Dude, Jesse Ventura about falls out of his chair.
He buzzed out laughing crazy. The judge says, of my constant faith and abiding love. And Elmer says, oh my done faith and love. And then Joyce puts the ring on Elmer's finger. And Jesse says, Joyce has to be the greatest liar in the world.
Holy shit.
It's fucking nuts.
This is a shoot wedding. Please keep this in mind.
Up to say, bro.
This is a real wedding.
That is fucking nuts.
The judge says, now, if any person here present can show just cause why Uncle Elmer and Joyce should not be lawfully joined together, let them speak now or forever hold their peace. And then Uncle Elmer points directly behind the judge to give him the Iggy because Roddy Piper is here. And Roddy Piper said, there is no home for romance and wrestling. I object.
Dude, he just comes out here to roast these dudes. Like, this guy is a menace.
Why is Paul Orndorff not still kicking his ass?
He put on his whole shirt and outfit.
Yeah, that's right. He's back in his garb. There is no room for a big farmer in the ring marrying anybody and doing a wrestling match. I say that you stink. You stink. The whole damn wedding stinks. Hogan is now getting out of the ring to tell Piper to fuck off. And Piper starts to leave and he says, you all stink. And he walks away. So I guess Piper's objection does not count.
Doesn't seem like it. I think they just said, shut up.
The judge says, I now pronounce you to be husband and wife. You may kiss your spouse. And they kiss. And Jesse Ventura says, McMahon, it's 2 carp in the Mississippi River going after the same piece of corn. And Vince says, huh? And he says, it's like two fish going after a big piece of corn.
Yeah, no, the fish. Yeah, we got that.
And Mean Gene.
Good one. You're fired. Your ass is gone.
Yeah.
Hey, fuck you, McMahon.
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and get your shit, man?
I'll be back.
2024, I'm coming back.
And you will be fired, McMahon.
Yeah, good one, pal. That'll never happen.
So we're backstage in the reception area now, and the reception area is just full of hay and pigs and pig shit and some chickens in a cage.
The squealing pigs.
Jesse Ventura says, the friends of the family are here.
Last time we saw these things, like Harley Race killed one of them or something.
Holy fuck,
Do you remember that?
Yeah,
wow.
I forgot about
what
that.
was that? Was that the Slammy episode?
I think
was,
so, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, the 80s were fucked up, man.
Dude, yeah, I was like, holy shit, is like another animal gonna die? That's the first thing I saw. When I saw that, I was like, they're gonna kill another animal. Oh, man. I'm glad they didn't.
So we have a special surprise guest, by the way, that's going to be at the reception, and they're going to have a country hoedown, a live band. Hulk Hogan's here, too.
Don't forget that. So King Kong Bundy and Big John Studd are with Bobby Heenan and Mean Gene.
Wow, what a fucking group this is.
I know, like Big John Studd, dude. Big John Studd is like so big. He's very John in his presentation.
He's a stud, also.
Yeah, I mean, he looks very reminiscent of like a hacksaw, like mid-'80s hacksaw. Like he legit kind of has that same vibe. Yeah, great look, man. He looks like, dude, he's unbelievable. Yeah. And King Kong Bundy is a thumb. Dude, this guy looks fucked up.
He's fucking crazy looking, but he can move.
Dude, this guy is hitting splashes, abundance of splashes.
He's fucking feeding for bumps. Like I said, what the hell is going on here? That's a big bastard to be doing.
Was Bundy a teacher or something like that? Was that his thing?
I think that's right.
He was a teacher, and for whatever reason, he would shave his entire body except for like the middle of his chest. I don't know what the deal was with that, but crazy guy, man. Yeah, I heard he was like the nicest dude ever, man.
I can see that.
Yeah, and I think the dude from Billy Madison was based off of King Kong Bundy. So,
the
revolting blob.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Here's King Kong Bundy with hair.
Holy fucking shit!
Yeah, he does look like a teacher there, though.
This is the most teacher-looking dude ever, right here, Tony. You're right.
So yeah, Mean Gene's here with Hennan, Bundy, and Studd, as James says, and Mean Gene says, "You had to be moved by that ceremony." And Bobby says, "I'll tell you what moved in just a minute." But first of all, I'm guessing that was he meant a bowel movement. I assume that was a reference.
Somebody smells like shit.
That's what I say every time the Hillbillies show up.
That'd be crazy. Holy crap.
Somebody smells like shit.
It just cuts to random people ringside. Like, oh my fucking God. Oh, what's that smell?
Mean Gene says, "I'd like to ask you something, old piano keys." Bobby Heenan says that to Mean Gene. He says, "I'd like to ask you something, old piano keys. Tell me what you were doing beating on that organ like that." And Mean Gene says, "Hey, I asked the questions here." He's so offended. Says, "What do you have against Andre the Giant?" And Big John says, "He tried to knock me off the saddle. I'm the Giant of Wrestling." And he points to Bundy. He's the other Giant of Wrestling, and Andre's number 3. That's awesome.
So we have Giant number 1 and number 2?
Number 2 and number 3.
Number 3, you can fuck off, buddy. We saw you almost butt-ass naked out there, dude. What are you doing out there? Yeah, no, that's what I was thinking, too.
Bundy says, "You run around pro wrestling, running roughshod, and we're putting a stop to it." And Big John says, "Going around telling everybody he can slam me. I can't be slammed. And remember this, Andrea, I cut your hair."
I love this team. Bobby Heenan, King Kong Bundy, and Big John Studd. Dude, yeah, I'm booking. These guys ain't ever losing.
Hell no.
Holy shit.
And he's not being slammed, I'll tell you that much.
No way, dude.
Jasper Parker.
Oh yeah, no, I don't. Whatever you say, Andre. Really,
I guess you will be right there, Andre.
Indeed, number 3.
Heenan says NBC television has a big peacock, and in just a couple minutes you're going to see a 500-pound turkey go down.
So Andre the Giant and Tony Atlas are facing Big John Studd and King Kong Bundy.
That's awesome.
That is. I mean, there's just so much girth in this match.
I mean, Tony Atlas, don't get it wrong. I mean, he's not John Studd, Bundy, or Andre. This is a big fucking guy.
He was actually larger than this at some point.
How the hell is that?
He cut, like he got cut up, like he just looks like a lot leaner here. I've seen pictures of Tony Atlas where he is like, I mean, he left humanity behind. Like he's like the biggest human being I've ever seen in my life.
That's fucking insane.
Yeah, I mean, like he was super into like, I guess the bodybuilding stuff. He's still, I mean, to this day. I mean, we saw him in that movie we watched, that fucking
Wrestle Massacre.
And even to this day, he is massive. Like he always keeps up that physique. But yeah, like at some point, like here's a good picture of him here. I'll send it over to you guys.
What I said?
Yeah, I got that right here. But
let me see.
This is from Mid-South. Yeah,
what
the fuck? Yeah,
that is insane. Holy
Mr.
shit.
USA Tony Atlas, like
dude,
just a monster.
That is fucking crazy.
So Bundy goes to tie up But Andre just goozles him and chokes him to shit.
Dude, he's choking Bundy. He's like wrapping Bundy's own singlet straps around his neck. He's choking the shit out of him.
So correct me, please, if I'm wrong in this thing. But WrestleMania 3 is 2 years from this point.
That's right.
And at that point, even Andre's like, he can't do very much. Are we in that era of Andre right now? I can't say I'm like an expert on Andre's career or anything. I know his big moments, of course, but like,
yeah, I mean, it seems like it.
Yeah, it seems like his mobility's starting to slow down. He's
still walking to the ring though.
Yeah, that's true.
You know,
but I mean, 87's really tough.
87 is fucked.
We're pretty close to 87. I mean, we're only give or so a year, really.
Sure.
From there. But yeah, that was something I was thinking while I was watching this match. Is I was like, I wonder where Andre's at, like physically, by this point. He can still like, he's fucking Andre the Giant. I mean, like he steps in the ring and you're like, holy fucking shit! Like he doesn't have to do anything. He's
shaped nuts too. By the way,
I was watching some YouTube footage. It was cut up, but it was Stan Hansen versus Andre at some point.
Oh yeah,
and he was moving like it was like night and day difference.
I imagine it was a quick deterioration.
Yeah, I imagine so. Like he was just too big. Yeah, like that was kind of the thing. Andre starts choking him with his own straps. He hits his patented ass cheeks in the corner. This is classic Andre.
Devastating throwing my ass back on you. I mean
he really winds it up. Well, that's his son.
Of course it is. Giant number 4.
Holy shit, the giant number 4.
That's the lineage, of course.
Andre then uses his partner, Tony Atlas's head, and then does a meeting of the minds with King Kong Bundy.
And Atlas doesn't sell it because his thing is he uses his head. And as you see in the next 6 moves that he does, which is something leaping headbutt, something leaping headbutt.
Everything leads to the headbutt.
That's awesome.
Bundy goes for the elbow on Atlas, but misses. Atlas hits a headbutt. Stud comes in. They go to an international. Atlas hits a headbutt. Atlas, I tell you, in the international here, Atlas, great footwork and shit. Had a great whip here where he whipped him off the headlock and he fell down and got back up.
Dude, okay. Him having to, him doing that to sell that he's having to push a big son of a bitch and still being able to get up in time for the rest of the shit, like the shoulder tackle that came after, was super impressive. Also, his leapfrog over John Studd was nuts.
Yes, yeah, like just super athletic, just had a great mind for the fundamentals and he looked great. So, I mean, he had it all here. Studd drops an elbow on Atlas. He goes over to Andre. Andre then hits a headbutt. I said, oh, shit.
He's back.
He just unlocked the tech.
I never see him do that move, McMahon.
Headbutt. So Bundy comes in. He hits a splash on Atlas.
Dude, yeah, what the fuck? Just out of nowhere.
Yeah, he said, is that legal? That should be grounds for a disqualification. Shut the fuck up, McMahon.
Hey, fuck you, McMahon.
We like King Kong Bundy. Andre then comes in. Him and Studd have a face down. And I like this because Studd looked fucking scared.
He backed down.
Oh my God. Do you know how difficult it is? To be able to be a big guy like that and know when it's time to sell being scared.
Give it up. Yeah.
Holy shit. I couldn't believe my eyes. I was like, wow, he actually knows. He picked his spot here for this. It just looked, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just smart.
You're right.
It's just smart wrestling. Andre does a few moves here, then hits a big boot, sends Studd out. Bundy comes in and attacks Andre from behind.
Jumps him.
Starts putting the boots to him. Studd then sends Atlas into the ring post on the outside. And then Bundy and Studd have Andre in the corner. They run at him and just splash him and headbutt him.
They're shoulder tackling him to shit. Yeah.
Fucking the ref just throws the match. He's like, oh, just forget it. The match is fucked. But the numbers game is too much for Andre the Giant. They're kicking his ass in the corner. He's trying to get out. He just can't.
You think you need some help, dude?
I have a good idea, brother. How about I come out here and make the save, dude? That's why he had to fucking have the first match of the night so he could keep coming out in every segment the entire fucking night.
Dude, all the segments. He's
all over the whole show. Yeah, you're right, Ted.
I do. Okay, so like, I really like this where, so they have their feuds, right? They have their matches that they're doing and they're building up to here. But yes. I do like that the baby faces are just anti-heel regardless of alignment or if they're in a feud. Mm-hmm. Sure. And the heels are anti-babyface regardless of they're in a feud also.
I mean, that's how it doesn't get easier than that, right? Like that.
Yeah.
That's the most digestible way to produce wrestling.
Like like regardless of if he's feuding with you or not, Roddy Piper's probably gonna walk by you and say, "Hey, fuck you, dude." I like that. So too. Hogan and Andre, of course, they team up together, and Tony Atlas gets back in the ring, and we have 3 of the fucking largest, meanest motherfuckers ever in there. And I mean, this is a giant's paradise here, man.
Yeah, I mean, like, it was legit the land of the giants, right? Like, that's all they had was big fucking dudes on top.
Yeah, larger than life for sure.
So we're back from commercial. Mean Gene is in the ring with all the boys, and Mean Gene says, "All right, Hulk Hogan, a tremendously strange turn of events. What brought you out here in the ring?" And Hogan says, "Mean Gene, just like I said before, these 2 dudes had them rocking and rolling from the time the bell rang. They've been trying to take shortcuts on Tony Atlas and Andre the Giant, and these guys are the winners, and that's why I came out here." And Mean Gene says, "Oh, yeah, by the way, yeah, Andre and Tony Atlas won this match." Oh, okay. I didn't realize that the heels got DQ'd there.
Yeah, they threw it out, I guess, DQ. Yeah. That works for me. I'm okay with that.
And Mean Gene says there's even more happening at this very moment. And Hogan says, "Yeah, there's a lot more happening right now, Mean Gene. We're going to just wait a little bit before we tell everybody." Oh, okay, fuck me then, Hogan.
Mean Gene, I gotta tell you, dude, I heard the crowd roaring. They were rocking and rolling a little bit out here, dude. And I thought maybe I'd come get a little bit of that pop, brother.
I mean, I can't let Uncle Elmer upstage me, brother. Why don't you go to the goddamn zoo, Mean Gene? Fuck off.
I might get married tonight, dude. Matter of fact, how much time do we have left? Yeah, please leave. How much time do we have left? So we go to a pre-tape, which is just unbelievable character work here for George the Animal Steele.
Vince says, "Oh, well, Mean Gene went into the field to get this next story." So into the field? Where they sent his ass like to war? Like he's on the field? No. They meant physically a field, like a fucking a big field, like a zoo. He's at the zoo. This fucking guy. Mean Gene pulls up with a microphone in a tiger-striped fucking Jeep, like Jurassic Park style.
Yeah, orange with the black stripes.
Yeah,
Deadlock mobile.
That's awesome. We need to get one of those. And Mean Gene says, "No, not Marlon Perkins. This is Jungle Gene Okerlund. And we are here looking for the most cunning and elusive creature on this entire planet."
Jungle Jim?
Oh, what the hell?
Oh, damn.
No, it's not Bigfoot, the Loch Ness Monster, or Judge Crater. I can only be talking about George the Animal Steele. I said, oh. Mean Gene says, "We've had reports that he's been sighted at the Detroit Zoological Park. And if anyone can find this man, I can." So Mean Gene, his way of finding George the Animal Steele is to walk a few steps, push a bush to the side and go, "Animal, George Steele." And then George the fucking Animal Steele pops his head up underneath some bushes. And here he is. And he goes, "Oh."
Good gimmick. I like this guy is the animal, someone said.
And Mean Gene says, "George Steele, my goodness, am I glad I found you. The entire world has been looking for you." And they look to the side and there's a bunch of camels in the exhibit. And George the Animal Steele says, "Sheik." And Mean Gene says, "Yes, that's a camel." And then we go to a fucking voiceover Mean Gene over some clips. And Mean Gene says, "Well, but George, to update your fans, when we last seen you, you looked in perfect form in that 6-man tag match, but later you became disoriented."
Okay, so in this 6-man tag shit, George the Animal Steele he says you were in perfect form, and it cuts to George the Animal Steele just going absolutely nuts in this fucking tag match. Yeah, just hands up, drooling. Oh, okay, yeah, he looked great here.
Look good.
He was eating the term. Yeah, you look great.
Well, he became disoriented, James, and Captain Lou Albano sought out electroshock therapy for George the Animal Steele that initially worked, but later caused him to relapse. I'm assuming he was trying to make him not an animal.
How now, brown cow?
Yeah, that's him being normal. Hey, chill.
This was nuts, man. Yeah, electroshock therapy. They put the helmet on him and everything.
Frankenstein.
Dude, yeah, that was awesome. I was like, wow. They really care about this character.
I mean, George Steele's kind of fucking awesome.
Yeah, he eats the turnbuckle and he fucking yells really loud.
So Mean Gene says, if all possible, can you show me a little bit of the zoo? I'd like to see some other animals. No offense, camels. So he fucking finds George Steele and he just has George Steele show him the zoo where George Steele lives, I guess.
He's just hanging out, just residents here for a while.
Well, Mean Gene says, oh, this is an elephant. You couldn't help but notice the trunk on here on this one. That's a female, by the way. And George Steele goes... and does theatrics.
That was the most ridiculous elephant noise I've ever. What the hell are you doing?
With theatrics, Tony.
Dude, it was insane. This dude is insane.
Then they go to the next one. Mean Gene says, we're looking into the tiger's den. Seems to be very dark. I can't tell. What kind of tiger is that? And George the Animal Steele says, Detroit. And Mean Gene says, Detroit tiger does seem a bit sleepy this season.
Looks at the camera. That was nuts.
Mean Gene says, this is a ring-tailed lemur, George. They're half monkey and half weasel. And George says, Hennan. Yes, of course. And Mean Gene says, look at here, the hippopotamus, part of the swine family. And George says, Bundy. And Mean Gene says, Bundy? There's a physical resemblance, but what about the hair, George? And George, of course, rubs his head and says, hair. Holy fucking shit, man. This guy's the best character of all time.
I mean, he's got locked in, right? Like,
so Mean Gene and George are now walking, I guess, back to where George lives in the bushes. And Mean Gene says it's been a sensational visit with you to the zoo. And I'm glad to see your... I just stepped in something here. Big pile of shit here, George. For me, I fucking choose. I'm glad to see you're feeling good. And we're looking forward to seeing you back in the ring. So George then says, bye! And he full fucking sprints into the bushes and jumps in them and then turns back and does a crazy look at the camera as it zooms in on his fucking fucked up face.
Dude, yeah, him running back in and looking back was like some horror movie shit. Like, that could be like framed way different.
That was nuts.
I just stepped in some shit. Anyways, have a good one, George.
Hey, George, got shit all over my shoes, buddy. See you back at the work?
Yeah, you could work, I guess. I don't know how you're going to get there, but make sure you show up and call.
No.
Okay. So now we have the Dream Team, known as, of course, the tag team of Greg Valentine and Brutus Beefcake, with their manager, Johnny V.
Johnny Valiant. How the fuck is there more Valiants on this show?
Yes, sir. Come on. And they're facing off against Tony Gurria and Lanny Poffo.
Yeah, they, I guess in Philadelphia, what happened, so Greg Goddamn Hammer Valentine and Brutus Beefcake are feuding with Mike Rotundo and his partner Barry Windham. And I guess in Philadelphia they had a tag match in August, and Johnny Valiant handed something to Brutus Beefcake, which then he used on Barry Windham's eyes. That led to the victory in that match and them winning the tag titles.
So I looked a little further into this.
I was fucking hoping somebody did, because I didn't.
Yes.
I was very confused of what it was.
Me too. That's why I was like, okay, they had to at least explain this later.
Yes.
Okay. So he ends up rubbing Johnny V's cigar in Wyndham's eyes, and he blinds him in one eye
because he has the eye patch on.
Because he has the eye patch on here, and they win the tag titles in that match.
Right. Okay. Okay. I'll take that. I accept this.
So it shows Tony Gurria and Lanny Poffo in the ring, and my first thought is they look like guys that would be very, very over today.
Oh my God, they would be.
Johnny V is here with Greg Valentine and Brutus Beefcake. Johnny V is smoking a big penis, and he looks great, man. Looks like looks like a manager that works for me in '85. Shit, dude. Works for me in 2024. If there was more managers that look like this and act like this, you'd be on the show. I promise you.
And Brutus is not the barber yet.
He's just Brutus Beefcake.
He's just Brutus Beefcake.
And he will become really close friends with Hulk Hogan.
I like the cut of this guy's jib, dude.
He put a cigar in that guy's eyes, dude. That was very cool. So Mean Gene does
He's
bring
not
up...
He's over as me, dude, so this is fucking awesome.
He can suck my dick all day, brother. I promise you that. So Mean Gene brings up Barry Windham and Mike Rotunda. That team is known as the U.S. Express, by the way.
Oh, I didn't know this. Okay.
And apparently, and I might get this name wrong here, I believe it was Rick Dillinger is what I read.
Okay.
He wrote the Hulk Hogan Real American theme song for the U.S. Express.
What?
But Barry Windham ended up leaving the territory, and they gave it to Hogan instead.
Wow.
I also read they never even got to the rematch between the U.S. Express and the Dream Team.
Oh, he's gone.
He just leaves.
What the fuck? Wow.
He goes back to Florida, apparently. Yeah.
Wow. Barry Windham leaving the WWF changed history.
Yeah, Hogan gets Real American as his theme song, and then the rest is history with that. But yeah, Mike Rotunda and Barry Windham are in the crowd, and they do, and Barry Windham does have the eye patch on for one scene. And then he probably says, I'm tired of this.
This shit sucks.
So I also have to say, Mike Rotunda looks fucking exactly like Bruce Campbell here.
It's fucking insane how much he looks like him. It's like identical. Also, why is he Mike Rotundo?
Do they call him Mike Rotundo here?
I'm almost positive, and I could be wrong. I swear his nameplate says Mike Rotundo.
Holy shit. So Lanny Poffo, man,
wow,
sticks out, man. Like he comes in, does a moonsault right off the fucking rip.
Dude, he does you know how Danielson does the run up the ropes to do a moonsault? He does and land on his feet. Lanny Poffo does this and does a moonsault.
I like this look for Poffo too. Like I said, him and Tony Gurria look like guys that would be over today, legit.
He's in good fucking shape. Tony Gurria is a 5-time tag champion at this point, by the way.
Yeah, they look great. Yeah, 5 times is nuts. He probably has a combined like 15 days as champion. He's like a 5-time champion. So it's a moonsault, but Greg Valentine makes the save. Beefcake takes everything here. He's just going to take everything.
Well, fucking the goddamn hammer's not taking shit.
The hammer is not taking this shit. Not tonight. Not ever.
No way. Not ever. Not for the next fucking 40, 30 years.
Well, I think you are, brother. How about that?
I saw that he's going to be at a convention with Bruiser Brody.
Yeah, and St. Louis here in a few weeks at the Hilton.
Yeah. What the fuck is that?
I didn't know that. I don't know how that's legal. Like, I legit don't know how that's legal. You can advertise Bruiser Brody.
If you guys see Bruiser Brody at the goddamn SICW Fan Fest next year, please let us know. We'd like to book him.
Yeah, that would be awesome. So Beefcake and Valentine do a double whip into the corner. Poffo just springs out and tries to make it to the other side, but it doesn't work.
I mean, great attempts at getting a tag here. He's desperate.
There's a guy ringside at the table literally just holding a shotgun mic towards the ring. I thought that was crazy.
That's awesome.
That's how it's supposed to be done.
That's how it's done at the real companies.
So Tony Gurria comes in, hits a hip toss and a drop kick on both guys. Good hot tag here. Gurria hits a crossbody for a 2 on Beefcake. Valentine comes in and drops an elbow drop. He drops the hammer.
Drops the fucking hammer.
And Rotunda and Windham look on. Windham has taken the eye patch off by this point. He didn't know they were going to look at him twice.
He's always... Wait, did that actually happen? I didn't see it.
It cuts back to him.
Wow.
No eye patch. Whoops.
Oh, damn. I didn't notice.
So Greg...
This stupid shit on me.
I'm going to Florida.
Fuck this.
Take me with you. I don't like this place.
I want to leave, fucking McMahon.
So Greg Valentine locks in the figure 4, and Tony Gurria ends up giving up because nobody gets out of the figure 4.
Okay, so Tony Gurria blatantly taps 6 times, and it's not until he sits up, looks at the referee, and waves his arms at him that the referee says,
Help!
This shit hurts.
Referee calls for it. Hey, fucking help!
So tapping's not a thing yet.
Oh.
So he can tap all he wants, but until he says, I give up, or he passes out, yeah, the ref's going to let you die.
Damn, that's funny as shit with thinking that he could tap, though. The ref just wasn't fucking Mario Yamasaki to his ass.
So Poffo runs in, but Beefcake sends him to the outside, and then Johnny V comes in to celebrate, and he not only ashes his cigar on the ref's head, he ashes his guitar on Tony Gurria and Lanny Poffo.
Ashing the cigar is a great fucking heel thing to do.
I mean, Johnny V is crazy, man. I don't know. Like,
It's a crazy fucking guy.
Yeah, that's a crazy dude. Ashing a cigar in the arena, smoking in the arena.
Dude,
is
ashing
nuts.
on top of someone's head who has hair is like that could be fucked up.
Crazy.
So now it's time for the main event, the wedding reception of Uncle Elmer.
So we're backstage where there's hay, there's tables, there's a band, and Mean Gene is still here leading the cause here. And at a table, Jesse Ventura and Vince McMahon are sitting with Paul Orndorff and Hulk Hogan. And Vince says, Jesse, please, what are you writing? And Jesse Ventura says, I'm writing a poem. And Paul Orndorff says, you can't spell. So they're like having conversation. Like Vince is talking like Hogan and Orndorff during this. Jesse Ventura is like just fucking talking shit over them as loud as possible the whole time. Like I couldn't even write this down.
No, I couldn't hear anything they were saying. They were just talking obnoxious. So loud.
Yeah, it's nuts. Well, Hogan says, this is just the type of thing that Uncle Elmer needs, dude. A positive thing that can take him to the top of the WWF. Hopefully not on top of me, brother. And I really drew that rating, dude. I mean, like, I don't know.
Just a reminder, brother. I was out there 9 times tonight. So when the rating comes back, brother, let me know.
And you should keep me on top, dude. Paul Orndorff says that this is a part of history, and he thought it was great, the wedding, of course. And Jesse Ventura says, I dressed down for the occasion. And Vince says, have you seen Lou Albano anywhere? And we go to another table, and Lou Albano is talking to Cousin Junior. And Lou says, I'm trying to show Cousin how to eat. Use the left hand at all times. You always want to keep the right hand clean. And Mean Gene says, okay, let's go to Leaping Lenny Balvo.
He's trying to dunk a roll into the wine with his left hand.
I'm trying to eat here. Lenny Poffo, still in gear because he just had a match, then recites a poem to Elmer and Joyce, and I guess this is his thing for the rest of his fucking life.
Yep, this is it.
I don't know. When does he start this poem thing? Because this felt like fucking out of nowhere. I don't know if they already know that he does this or if they just like, if this is the first incident of it. Because that'd be nuts.
I don't know if it's the first time. Because they kind of cut to him like they expect him to do it.
Yeah, you're right. So he debuted in June of 85. But in his first role as Leaping Lenny Poffo, he would bring frisbees to the ring, read a short poem written on one of them that he himself pinned, and then throw the frisbee to the crowd. He made his first Saturday Night's Main Event appearance on October 5th, this episode where he recited the poem at Uncle Elmer's wedding. So, yeah, he'd already been doing this.
Okay.
Interesting. Yeah. He had him on frisbees? So he reads him a poem. Everyone applauds this, and Mean Gene taps a glass to get everyone's attention, and the glass breaks. And Hillbilly Jim comes in and says, I want to propose a toast to Uncle Elmer and Joyce. Y'all ready? And Joyce and Uncle Elmer, we want to wish you many years of love and happiness. Every Sunday, I'm open for dinner invites.
Sunday supper? Like, this is what it's all about right here, man.
And Mean Gene says, very good, wonderful. All right, here's a big moment. We've got a surprise guest. Get ready. A man who is without a doubt a part of television's biggest wedding up until now. That's fucked up. Tiny Tim! And Tiny Tim comes in and he thanks Mean Gene and he thanks everyone for inviting him here, and he wants to congratulate everyone on this beautiful night. He knows how weddings are. I've gone through a big one on television. It didn't work out, but I have some advice for you. Through the harder times, Mr. Elmer, trust your wonderful wife. And as a special gift for you both, I want to present you my ukulele, personally from me. And Uncle Elmer said, oh boy, I fucking love SpongeBob. Goddamn, thank you for that.
Tiny Tim, do you want to sing a song for us?
Oh, no.
All right.
Fuck all that.
That's why your wedding's number 2, bitch. Now go ahead and get on out of here.
Get the fuck out of here. So Mean Gene says, all right, boys. And Jesse Ventura fucking runs up and he says, I got something to say.
Oh, dude.
So Jesse Ventura has a poem that he wrote earlier that he's going to recite here. There's always a place in life for love, a place for the lily, a place for the dove. There's always a time in life to care, a time to cuddle, a time to share. A time and a place for everything, a place to dance, McMahon, and a time to sing. And I've seen your dance, and I've heard your song, and I must tell you that this is wrong. That wrestling is a deadly dance and is no partner to romance, and shame on those that mix wrestling and romance just for these hicks. Ha 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 ha. And Hogan and Paul Orndorff both stand up to confront him, and Jesse Ventura, of course, in reaction to this, tries to run away. But Hillbilly Jim trips him into the big fucking cake, and he goes face first into the cake, and it's very embarrassing for him because he gets cake all over his fucking outfit. And Mean Gene is...
Dude, imagine getting laughed at by Hillbilly Jim and his family.
Oh my God, his goddamn cousin Junior.
Cousin Junior's hitting a fucking dance back there laughing at this dude.
Mean Gene's giving him the business, so he says, oh no, Jesse Ventura, I told you it'd be more fun than the Longshoremen's Convention. We'll be back after this. So we're back from commercial, and Vince says we just received great news for everyone except Andre and perhaps Hulk Hogan, and that Bobby the Brain Heenan, on behalf of Big John Studd and King Kong Bundy, they've accepted the terms and conditions and the challenge, and will face you two in 4 weeks from tonight. So it'll be Bundy and John Studd against Hogan and Andre on the next Saturday night's main event, which is a big fucking match.
I mean, yeah, that is a huge match.
Yeah, I mean, goddamn. And Hogan says, for the wrestling fans, it's going to be a dream match. For Bundy, Studd, and Heenan, it's going to be a nightmare. You guys have seen Hulkamania run wild. Can you imagine Andre the Giant in my corner? 525 pounds of extra human meat?
This guy's always been fucked up, huh?
So Vince says, stay with us. We'll be right back for more. How the fuck is there more? More is just them coming back to the show that Uncle Elmer and Joyce dancing, Hillbilly Jim dancing with somebody, and then Cousin Junior and Captain Lou Albano charging in and starting dancing on their own. And the last shot is, of course, Uncle Elmer and Joyce kissing as the show ends. This was fucking 1985 as fuck.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I mean, this got an 8-point motherfucking 3.
That's nuts. That is nuts.
Won't nothing on TV in 85.
But I'm glad we watched this, and Saturday night's main event is coming back. I can't imagine it's anything like this, but who knows?
It could honestly be even crazier.
It could be, I guess.
Take away the 8-second delay and let Jesse Ventura talk on the mic. He's got a couple things he needs to get off his chest.
Do we know if that's taped or not, or is it live?
I think it's live, right?
Wow, that's fucking unreal. They got balls.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Wow.
They got balls, man. Best of luck.
So, Michael Cole, do you guys have health insurance?
Holy shit.
I mean,
you want to start a union, Michael? Yeah, it's live. Wow, it's live this weekend as of this recording. It's Saturday.
Things could change forever.
Wow. We might have to tap in. I might have to take a look at that.
See what's going on.
Well, that is it for the second ever episode of Saturday Night's Main Event from October 5th, 1985, and that is it for our show.